ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's been a minute, but we're
It's been a
back.
hot
Football
minute.
season is here. We've been rolling through it, but we got some college football week 5 already.
Yeah.
Fire games on the schedule, but let's talk a little about the game of the week. Basically a natty champ preview. Georgia at Alabama. Holy shit.
That
This
is
is
the game of the
gonna
year.
be this is gonna be nuts. Middle of the season, I mean, this is you couldn't draw it up any better than this. Like we
No,
were
it's
saying,
early for this game.
they could play each other 3 times this year if shit happens like it does. So
And I think they might. They're
SEC
definitely going to play in the,
and the
unless it's
playoff.
not Georgia, they'll play in the SEC championship or not Texas, and then the playoff.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Because Georgia also plays Texas, so they got a little bit of a gauntlet. But
They do.
let's run through it. I really want to take Bama, but that makes me think that Georgia's going to win. The line's a little fishy. The fact that they got Georgia favored at Bama, it's like, dude, this has got to be a trap. So,
It's
what do
kind
you
of disrespectful, honestly. I mean,
really is?
it's like they're basing it off of the last few times they've played. But if I was going to look at the eye test, like I've seen Georgia 3 times, I've seen Bama 3 times. I'd say Alabama looks like the better team, and they got the better quarterback, and they're at home. So it is a little sketchy how Georgia's favored, but in that matchup, I'm taking Alabama money line. I'm just going to take them straight up. I think it's a safe bet, but for some reason, Georgia's favored, and I really don't know why.
Yeah, it's gone down to it was 2, now it's 1.
Yeah,
Basically, same even money line. Like they're saying, you bet on
right.
Bama,
Like
you're not going to win.
you're
They
not
don't.
betting no spreads.
Yeah, they don't want to see anyone win any money off this game, but basically
Hmm.
national championship. Definitely Milrose way better than Carson Beck. I think I'm not a believer in Carson Beck at all.
Yeah.
I also, I mean, yeah, like we said, they're the underdog and they got the home field advantage. Like, I just think that like makes them like hungrier. Like, the hungry dog runs
Hmm.
all that bullshit. But dude, it's gonna be crazy. I guess Georgia's got, I mean, their defense is elite, but I don't trust in Beck, and I don't think they got like a guy out like weapons anymore like they used to. No Brock
No,
Bowers. They don't got no
ETN.
receiver. Like, yeah, it's just like I don't know. If it comes down to quarterback play, I trust in Milrow,
Yep.
and they're at home, and I mean their defenses can go head to head. They got both are gonna have just NFL guys everywhere, but
Yeah, they
man,
both got just insane defenses, but like having a new coach, I don't know if that helps. It might help Alabama because Kirby kind of knew how to coach against Saban.
but he couldn't beat Saban. But now
No, he knew how to beat Saban towards the end. He beat him the last 2 times they played, those 2 national championships.
Well,
Um,
not the last 2 times they played though.
yeah, but not the last time, but the 2 times before that.
Well, yeah. So
And
I
he
mean,
won it all. He knew how to beat Saban. He did it. He did it twice when he won it all. But I don't know. It's just like having that new
yeah,
coach. It could be a downfall for Alabama, or it could
they're
help them. You never know.
they're
We'll see.
44-0 in games against not Alabama in the past like 3 years, but
I
they
know.
lost
It's
Alabama
crazy.
twice, beat them once. I mean, it's just I don't know. These obviously aren't. This isn't the Georgia team from 2 years ago, and I don't think this is a crazy Bama team. But I just like how Miller's got more experience and like it's just shown us more than Carson Beck. Like I've just not been on Carson Beck all year. Never will
Yeah.
be. I'm just not a fan. I don't think he's that special. And
He
like
was
I
a
said,
Heisman candidate last year, and like for no reason, just because their team was good.
yeah, I mean, shoot, Brock Bowers was averaging like 20 yards after the catch. Like he's not on the team anymore. I think he made them more than I mean, dude, you could throw almost anybody into Georgia's offense and they'll produce. You could say that about Bama, but like Milrow can run for 103 tutties if like he just like running
Yeah.
quarterbacks are just so hard to stop in college. Like it's just
Yeah,
crazy.
especially at Alabama, like all those receivers with Ryan Williams, the freshman.
Yep.
But yeah, if you have a QB that can pass like Milrow, he's got 3 years under his belt, and he
Exactly.
can run like a running. He's literally a running back at QB. It's
Right.
wild. So I mean, if I had to put money somewhere, I'm putting it on Milrow over back, and that just makes you want to take Bama over Georgia. So
They did get him last year when it mattered at the end, and I think Bama's better than they were last year, and I think Georgia's worse than they were last year. They both
yeah, they
lost a
lost their
lot of
biggest
guys.
pieces.
Yeah, they lost a lot of guys in the NFL, but I think Bama's got more weapons. And
So you're taking Bama?
I'm taking Bama, and that makes me think that Georgia's gonna win because there's something fishy about this
You,
line,
you
dude.
got to stand on it. I'm taking
No, I
Bama
know. I'm taking Bama
because I
money.
think they're gonna win.
I just don't know how Georgia could be favored when they look so even to me, and it's at Bama. You would think give Bama the home field like 2, 3 points. It's like, what is this line?
I honestly think it's because Saban's not there. Like I don't know why, but it's
Yeah,
just a head-to-head.
100%. And also, this is the first time Bama. We should have started with this. First time they're home underdogs since 2007, which was the start of Nick Saban regime.
Yeah, that's insane.
Obviously, they were unstoppable with Saban, but it's a new time. It's just home underdog Alabama. They also
Unheard
probably
of.
haven't played Georgia at home, you know, maybe ever in the past whatever amount of years. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, Georgia might be favored just because they're ranked higher. Like
yeah,
they started out at number one. I don't really know why. It probably should have been Texas,
right. When
but
it's like,
that's probably why they're favored, just because they're ranked higher and they don't want to make their rankings look bad.
yeah,
They're
exactly.
gonna favor them, but I don't know. We're taking Alabama.
We're taking Bama. If you base it on last year, they Bama went farther. They beat them when it mattered in the championship, conference championship, and then lost to the natty champs Michigan, which I think Michigan was the best team all year. So
It was close.
that's yeah, it was close. They choked up on that fourth down or whatever. But all right, yeah, I'm taking Bama as well.
Mm, Roll Tide.
But man, this is a sick ass game in week 5 in September. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Next
probably the
game,
game of the year, if not second.
and then I would say the next one's Georgia, Texas. So
Yeah, exactly. Because Bama
anything,
and Texas don't play this year.
and then Bama LSU is always the game of the year.
Mm.
But LSU's we'll see.
But
All right, next game of the week, ACC versus Independent. You already know Louisville at Notre Dame. The Cards are getting 7 points
this is the second biggest game of the week, for
easily.
sure.
And that's why we're talking about it big time. +7. U of L is getting 7 points at Notre Dame. I like that +7 a lot, but Notre Dame's a little fraudulent. Louisville's only played one tough team, but you could say the same about Notre Dame. They slipped up and lost to Northern Illinois, but I also it's a get back game. Even though they got their get back last week, it's just like, man, if the home field advantage in this is everything. If this was at Louisville, it's probably like a 1 point spread. But the fact that
Mhm.
it's at Notre Dame is crazy. So
Yeah.
I really think they're in the kind of the same tier, but Notre Dame just got probably bigger boys up front on the line, and their defense is insane. But they haven't shown us nothing to make it think like it's going to be anything but close.
Yeah. In big games, just history shows how like inconsistent Notre Dame's always been. This
Fact.
new coach, I mean, they would lose to Louisville, beat USC, barely lost to Ohio State. They beat A&M week one. Next week they lose to Northern Illinois. It's just like, how does that work? But I don't know. Their coach was saying how motivated they are. Louisville's supposed to be getting their best receiver back, Colin Lacey. That'd be huge.
Playing? Is he
He
playing?
might be. Quincy Riley's questionable. So it's like, yeah, I think if Louisville's like fully healthy, I think I'd honestly take him as the better team, just
Yeah.
looking at them. But they haven't played anyone like that good. Georgia Tech was pretty good. The fact that it's at Notre Dame and there's 7 point favorites, I don't know. I mean, it makes me think like Notre Dame's probably going to win,
Yeah.
but
Again,
I don't know. If I were to bet on it, I'm taking Louisville +7. I think a touchdown's a lot of points,
right.
and Louisville's rolling right now. And if they get their receivers back and their running game going, like they're top 15 team in the country. Like they're ranked, honestly.
100%. I mean, it's really just, dude, that home field advantage, especially
It's
at
huge.
Notre Dame, is a big one. And Louisville plays so much better at home. Like we saw
They
them get
do.
them last year.
last
Pretty much
year where they
everyone
didn't.
plays better at home, but there's certain places that just got like great advantages or their team just plays a lot better. I mean, you could say it about anybody, but
Or yeah, and Louisville's just like they're just not as good on the road. They're just not.
yeah, exactly. And Notre Dame is they're just that like old school like defense and run the ball. And
Hmm.
like I'm afraid they could beat Louisville up just in the trenches, but I mean, I don't trust that quarterback to throw a pass when they need to for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
If it's a close game, I like the Cards' chances, but if they get ahead and they just start running the ball and they just suffocate on defense because their defense is legit, but I have
Hmm.
to see Louisville getting in trouble. But I do like it being a close game, and yeah, I'll take that
Yeah.
plus 7 every day of the
I
week.
like the quick lead too. I think whoever gets the quick lead this game, because I think Louisville has a better chance of winning if it's a high scoring game,
Yeah,
just because they're a better passing team. The QB is a better passer. And you're right. Yeah, Riley Leonard's not going to really make those passes, but their running game is just definitely better and their run
yeah.
defense is better. So if it's a low scoring game, I think Notre Dame's going
I
to take it.
do. Yeah, I do think it's going to be low scoring. I mean, 46.5 point total for a college is kind of low. Like, I don't see anybody lighting each other up just because Louisville's defense is solid, and I mean, neither really a high-powered offense. Louisville's passing offense has been crazy, but
Yeah.
they haven't really been tested by an elite defense. But they did show up and win last week. Although we saw them have two defensive touchdowns, but
Yeah.
they could
Kind of
have got
lucky, honestly.
yeah, but they
Hate to
could
say
have
it.
got it back in a different way. But the field goal block for the touchdown, 10
Yeah.
points, that was
That's a
kind of
fun way to win, I'll tell you.
which is
Um,
like that's the type of shit that happens at home and doesn't happen on the road. So
that's very true. But having Colin Lacey back would be a game changer against Notre Dame.
yeah, which I
Three,
mean, I haven't seen the tape on the guy yet. I just know I've just seen the stats, and I mean he's one of the top transfers in the entire college. So yeah,
him, Ja'Cory Brooks, and Chris Bell with
like we
Show.
said, if we can lock down the run and force them to pass, we know Riley Leonard's going to be running, and he's not
Yeah.
the best passer. I really love Louisville's chances with that.
But
And
that hasn't been something our defense can do is defend the QB run, which
no,
sucks. Haynes King was ran all over us on third down.
yeah, it's just something about college quarterbacks that can run. It's just like if you can't lock up on if you can't lock up at corner and stuff, then like you got to drop more guys back, and then they just take off running for
Yeah.
quarterback. So it's very
And
tough.
it just keeps your defense on the field and it just almost wins you the game. It really does. If
Right.
your QB can
Uh,
run like that on like third down and get the first.
I
But
do think I do think Notre Dame's legit. I don't think they're like a top contender, but I think that Northern Illinois, like people are really, I mean, it's insane that they lost that game, but I think they're
yeah, they'd be they'd
overreacting.
be top 6, 7 if they won that game.
Right. And like what was it? Like 13-12? I don't even know the final score.
16-14 last
Yeah.
minute field
So
goal.
like again, it's like their defense is legit, their offense has struggled. But then we
Yep.
see they put up what 70 points the next week against Purdue. Like
Right.
that you just don't want to see them coming downhill and running on you, like we said. So
Hmm.
final thing, I'm taking Louisville plus 7. I think Notre Dame might win, but I think it's gonna be close, easy money.
Yeah,
And
I'm a bet them plus 7.5. I'm gonna alt the line.
like,
But I think whoever wins this game is instantly a playoff contention because this
yeah,
game's so big to have as a win on your schedule.
this is
So I think this game's huge for both teams.
a test.
And if Louisville can win this, that'd be
Or,
stellar for the future of the squad.
yeah, it'll tell me a lot more about Louisville than it will Notre Dame. Unless Notre
Yeah.
Dame comes out and wins by 21 or something,
Hmm.
it's telling me a lot more about Louisville. If they can just like hang in, come down to the wire, beat up on Notre Dame a little bit, and
Hmm.
win this game. It tells me a lot more about Louisville than Notre Dame. So we're gonna see, but this is a test, and I love it. I
And if
absolutely
we if Louisville wins, that sets up the Miami game
yeah,
crazy. It's gonna be
to be
crazy.
crazy. Talking about that, I got you. Let's run through our top 12. You can give me
Okay.
top 12 in order, and then I'll give you my top 12 in order as well.
Okay. My top 12 teams in college football in order. I go Texas number one, Alabama two, Georgia three, Ohio State 4, Tennessee 5,
Okay.
Miami 6,
Okay.
Ole Miss 7.
Yep.
I put Oregon at 8, Penn State 9, Utah 10, Missouri 11, and then Louisville number 12. And
Ooh.
then, but if I was going playoff wise, I'd put Boise State at 12 just because they're out of the Power Five.
All right. I did the same with Boise as my group of five, but here's
Yeah.
mine. I got Texas 1,
Hmm.
I got Georgia 2, Bama 3, Tennessee 4,
Okay.
Ohio State 5, Ole Miss 6, Miami 7, Oregon 8, 9 Penn State, 10 I got Michigan,
Okay.
11 I got USC, and then 12 I haven't made a decision, but it's between Utah, Louisville, and LSU. So those are, I really like everyone wants to say Utah, but the Big 12 is so fraudulent to me that like if Utah plays USC, Michigan, Penn State, any of them teams, Louisville, LSU, like I'm not picking Utah in that game. So
Right. And LSU would like you probably think they'd be favored over Louisville too.
and that's what I'm just gonna give like that's how I'm basing them off. Like who would I pick to win that game? So
Yeah.
Louisville, LSU over Utah, and then I'm taking Boise as my group of five. So
Okay. Dude, I
top
mean,
three.
your rankings, my rankings, and the actual AP rankings are all pretty damn similar.
Yeah. I just think that like I mean, dude, for this playoff, they need to just have six SEC teams. Like they have to.
Lock in 6.
Texas, Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss. It
I think
seems
maybe
like
5 should be it should be like
yeah,
5 for sure.
those five should be in. I don't even care if they all beat each other and they got two losses. Like,
Right.
and then like you could say
Missouri.
Missouri, LSU, but I don't know about Missouri or LSU. But and I'm an LSU fan, but I think we would beat Missouri. But I'm not sold on either of them, so I can't say that. But
That last year's game was nuts. LSU, Missouri.
yeah, dude, I had the over. It was the craziest overs. Bro, after a certain point, I just started betting LSU overs, and it was a lock last year.
Yes. I went to like two OTs, maybe it was in the 40s, 50s.
Yeah, and then we backdoor covered on a pick six at the end of the game. It was the
Oh
craziest.
my God,
You
I
know what I'm
do
talking
remember
about?
that.
It was
Yes.
like a 4 point game, and then we picked it off, ran it back. It was
Cover like 9.
all right. Yeah, that dude, that's insane. But I'm gonna continue that LSU over bet, run it the whole year because our
Keep doing
defense.
it.
All right, we're pausing for a sec. Coming back with some Heisman picks right now. Okay. All
All
right.
right. Heisman picks. You
My
go
top
first.
three and an honorable mention. Honorable mention Quinn Ewers. I don't know how long he's gonna be out. Injury kind of messes it up, but he's my pick since the beginning, and I'm gonna stay with it, but still a little fishy because he's hurt. One, I got Cam Ward playing out of his mind lately. Two, Jalen Milroe, 'cause I think he could lead them all the way, and he's just elite running and passing. And then three, call it the popular pick, Travis Hunter. As he might be
Really?
the best player in college football, and dude, playing every single snap, and he's the best player on the field. I got to give him some love. So I'd love to see a non-quarterback win it. So those are my three.
Yeah. I'd love to see a non-QB win too. Last time a running back won was Derrick Henry, which was like 2015. So my honorable mentions, Ashton Genty. He's only
Oh,
played 3 games and he's still second in the nation in rushing yards and in TDs, which is just wild.
dang,
And they got an easy schedule, so he's just gonna keep running it up. And then my three are 3 QBs. One's also Cam Ward, Miami. His
love it.
numbers are crazy. He leads the league in passing yards. And then two, also Jalen Milroe. His numbers are also just video game like. And we'll see what he does against Georgia this week. This will be a big game for his Heisman. And then three is Jackson Dart,
Yep, I know.
another player in the SEC who's just lighting teams up. He can rush and pass too. And he's been in college for forever, like all these QBs. So I think he's got good odds right now, and I think they're only going to get lower.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's
Oh,
probably going to be a quarterback award, but hey, those are Heisman picks. Like
any,
Devontae Smith and Derrick Henry, the last one since whenever to win it as a non-quarterback. Both
they need to
happen to
have an
be
award for like Obviously Heisman, and then like best
Yeah.
offensive player like NFL and stuff.
I know that they got the position awards, but it's like I
No one
don't know.
really cares about those.
Is it a Heisman? Like, does it have to be a quarterback every year? But sometimes it often is like QB's
Yeah,
definitely the best
because their
player.
numbers are just the best usually. But
Right. But also with Derrick Henry, Devontae Smith, they were on national championship teams. So it's like they
yeah,
just give it to like they were so good on the best team, you had to give it to them. But
right,
all right.
makes more sense.
All right. That's wrapping it up for our little preview college football and our thoughts. We're coming back after the break. Our college picks locks of the week. I got Nebraska -10 at Purdue, my number one. Illinois +18 at Penn State. I think this is a trap, but I'm falling into it. I think it's going to be closer than that. U of L +7 at Notre Dame. I'm taking three road teams, but I'm liking it. And then another one that might be a trap, but give me Ole Miss -16 versus Kentucky at home.
Is
That's
it
a
16
trap.
now?
It's at 16
16?
now. It feels weird. It should be higher, but UK still getting love from that Georgia game. So I don't know. That I just
Yeah,
like them at home. But
that spread was like 20, but they somehow made it a 1 point game. But my first one, I'm also taking Illinois +18. I don't know why the line hasn't really changed. If anything, it's gone up. But +18 at Penn State
it actually went down from 19, but keep going.
was started at 17 and a half.
Wow.
Um, but Penn State hadn't looked like that good. So Illinois has looked pretty good. My second lock is Bama money line at home. I think
Okay.
they're now minus money. Like so you can't get plus money at any of the bets.
Right.
But
They're
that's the
rigging.
game of the week,
They're
obviously,
rigging
as
it.
we talked about, college game day. And then another rivalry, we got UNC at Duke. UNC's QB's hurt, so I'm taking undefeated Duke -2.5.
Ooh, love that. I
Not
love
really a lot, not really a rivalry like basketball, but I mean, it's still going to be a heated matchup, and they go back and forth in football too. So
I love that a
Duke
lot.
-2.5 is the third one.
I'm super confident in Nebraska, not confident in the rest. But all right, those are our picks. Week 5 college. Lock it in with us.
Throw it in a parlay.
Yes, sir. Might as well. Let's bang, baby. We're back. All right, to kick off NFL week 4. Crazy, we're already here. We got our picks of the week. I got three locks and then a if pick if something happens. So I got Steelers at Colts under 40 and a half. It's going up. I'm taking the under every day of the week. Steelers defense is unreal and the Colts Anthony Richardson probably going to throw 3 or 4 picks to that defense.
Yeah, he's thrown so many.
Bucks +2 versus the Eagles. Buccaneers at home. I really like this. Eagles might be without AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson, their best O lineman. Like I don't know what to say. I just think the Bucks are getting trashed on from losing to the Broncos. Give me Bucks +2.
Mhm.
Texans -6 versus the Jags. Their offense is legit. Jags have looked horrible. I know it's a divisional game, but I love the Texans to just whoop the Jags and keep pounding on them. And then if Justin Herbert plays, I'm taking Chargers +7 at home versus the Chiefs, and that's my
Yeah,
pick.
I like that. And the Jags one, I mean, they've looked so they're probably the worst disappointment this year.
Yeah.
Um, so my first pick, I'm taking the Sunday night football game, Ravens money line. Did me justice last week. They almost choked it against the boys, but Ravens money line, they're -2.5 against the Bills. I think they're going to win at home, give the Bills their first loss.
Tough, bro.
And then back to the Eagles Bucks game. I'm taking Eagles money line. Them two played last year in the playoffs. It's a rematch. The Bucks won 32-9. Just absolutely whooped the Eagles in the playoffs. So I
Yeah.
think Jalen Hurts and Saquon, they're coming back and they're
Yeah.
gonna beat the Bucks. So I got Eagles, you got Bucks. And then my third game, I'm taking Bengals -4.5 at the Panthers.
Okay.
They got to get one win, dude. They're playing one of the worst teams in the league. Even though Andy Dalton, he's their old QB, that's gonna be fun to see. But dude, Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they got to get a win. So it's got to happen against the Panthers.
If they don't win this week, throw the season away because you already had penciled in this as an automatic win and the Patriots as a win. They've lost Patriots. If they lose
Commanders
this,
too.
there's not a worse team in the league than the Panthers.
Yeah,
So
dude, their schedule hasn't even been hard, and they're 0-3.
yeah, wait till they play Ravens, Browns, Steelers, just back to back to back. They're
AFC
cooked.
North.
So hey, those are our picks for now. Lock them in with us. Let's fucking roll. Let's go.
Okay, these are the games and players to watch this week in the NFL. One, we got Sam Darnold.
Oh my
The
God.
Vikings, they're
Yes.
3-0 already this season. He's looking like an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
So I want to see how Sam Darnold does this week. I don't even th he's thrown like one or two picks this whole season. So I want to see if he can keep it up. And if they go 4-0, it's gonna be crazy.
At
And then
Packers.
they're playing the Packers against J Jettas and Jair. That's gonna be a crazy matchup.
Ooh,
And then
wow.
a game that I want to see is Lions Seahawks.
Yes, sir. All
Yes.
right, he's taking my picks. Come
I
on.
mean, whoever's going to win that is probably a top of the NFC. Would you
For
say
sure.
so? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Seahawks are undefeated and Lions are 2-1 with one really close loss. So, I mean,
all right,
that's
dude.
probably a huge game.
I literally had those are two of my three games of the week. Obviously, those are fire. The Seahawks lines is either going to be a rock fight or just a shootout. So
I can see
like
a shootout.
I can see a shootout. Last week they played, last year they played, it was 37-31 overtime. I don't know if you remember that, but it was insane.
Yeah.
Basically, I think it's either going to be like a 2013 or it's going to be an absolute shootout. So I'm interested in that for sure. Other game of the week that I'm watching, going to be the game of the week, Sunday night. Come on now. Ravens
Yep.
Bills. The Bills have looked just unbeatable and they look so much better than they have in years past. Ravens have looked a little fraudulent, but Lamar and them get rolling. Derrick Henry's rolling. At
Hmm.
home, night game, it's gonna actually feel like a home game for the Ravens because last time they played at home against the Raiders, it was just like middle is like a
Yeah.
1 o'clock game. It did not feel like a home game at all, and they lost.
They just
So
got like lazy in the second half, and so did the
it-
fans. That was just a weird game.
just like at night makes Baltimore just seem like so crazy. So they're gonna be rowdy coming off a win, but
And they're wearing their all black unis. It's gonna be crazy
oh
at night,
wow,
Monday Night
that's
Football.
and then probably Bills wearing all white. That's gonna be a
Yes.
dream jersey matchup. I
That's
love
the
it.
game of the week for sure.
Also jersey matchup. Lions are wearing all black,
Oh,
and
the black and blue.
their
Those are
Seahawks are
sick.
probably rocking all white. So, dude, those are two of the
Dude,
best jersey matchups I've ever heard in my life.
two of the best jersey matchups is
And
the
the
two
best
best
game.
games of the NFL by far.
Obviously, Josh Allen, Lamar must see TV. My
Hmm.
player of the week to watch, random Mike Evans versus the Eagles. Quiet the past 2 weeks. We know how Mike Evans does this. He goes off 1 week, he goes quiet the next. He's
Yeah.
going off this week. I'm calling two tutties on the Eagles head top. So Mike Evans, maybe a Chris Godwin in there too, but I like that a lot. So hey,
And
that's
another player to watch for me is Joe Burrow, the connection with Jamar Chase. Um, they finally got it going against the Commanders, but they still lost. And it's just crazy to see how the Bengals are still 0-3. So I want to see what he and Jamar can do against one of the worst teams. And I think one of the two is going to have a crazy game against the Panthers.
yeah, 100%. Maybe a little T. Higgins touchdown, but
Yeah, he's back.
Jamar's probably going off again. But yeah, that their defense really screwed them. Offense did they did almost everything they could, but
Another one could be Jaden Daniels too. See how he keeps it up. I mean,
yeah. All right. Next, we got a little segment for y'all. Frauds or for real.
okay.
I'm gonna hit Nickel with the five undefeated teams, and he gonna tell me if they frauds or legit. Are they for real?
All right.
All right. First off the rip, Vikings, 3-0 team. Are they frauds or not?
They're frauds.
You think
I
so?
think I mean, dude, I think it's cool how Sam Darnold's like got that team going, rejuvenated his career, but I just don't see it in the NFC. Kind of got a hard schedule with the Lions, Packers, Bears. So I just don't think they're going to keep it up as much as they are right now.
Yeah. Basically, we're talking long run Super Bowl,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah, yeah.
like playoffs. Steelers 3-0.
I think they're frauds.
Oh,
Okay, this is why. The first half of their season is one of the easiest in the league. They're getting carried by their defense, and like obviously that's part of the team. Their defense is stacked, but I just think once they play these tougher teams like the AFC North and the Chiefs and the Eagles later on the season, I just think don't think they're going to have it, especially with Justin Fields. I don't think they're going to be able to score with these teams. So they definitely have a lot of losses coming their way soon.
I got it. Yeah, they do need to put up points versus them dogs. All right. Bills 3-0.
They're for real.
For real.
I thought they're going to be worse with losing like some of their receivers, but they look better than they ever have.
Look
And
fun.
Josh Allen looks the same way.
Blowing teams out in the NFL is just insane. Putting up
Yeah.
47. All right, Eagles. I mean, not Eagles, Seahawks, my bad.
Okay,
Three,
Seahawks. I think they're for real, but like I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender.
but playoffs,
Yeah, I think they're making the playoffs, and their win total was 8.5. We both
7.5.
7.5. So if you're basing off that, I think they're for real, and they're definitely gonna make the
Uh,
playoffs.
that was our preseason pick. Chiefs 3-0. I mean, it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're for real, and I don't even need to say why. They've won two Super Bowls, and their roster is even more stacked than it was last year with their receivers. So even though Kelsey's worse,
Can't say much about them. Chiefs are for real. We know it. All right.
okay, this segment's called Cooked or Contenders. These are NFL teams. The first team we got for Jake is the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think they're cooked as far as making a
Really?
playoff run. Just not what I thought I was going to be seeing. No run game. Defense is mid. I don't believe in them this year at all. They're cooked.
Yeah, I
Cooked.
honestly think the same way. Barely beat the Giants last night. Second team, this is an interesting one. We got the Bengals.
I think they're absolutely cooked. You can't start out 0-3. I mean, maybe the Chiefs as a loss, like cool, but dude, they're automatically, even if they're the best team in the league, you know you're going to slip up against Steelers, Ravens, or the Browns, like one of them, just because the division is so crazy. They know each other so well. So I think they're cooked, putting themselves in this 0-3. And I just, yeah, they might be last in the division this year. And that's insane. But even though the Browns are in there,
They got to win some huge games if they want to really make the playoffs.
yeah.
Um, Third team we got is the Texans.
Love them. I think they're contenders. They're legit. They slipped up against the Vikings, and people saw an absolute ass kicking. But I love them. I think their defense is fiery, and CJ and the boys will get rolling. I trust in CJ as much as I do any quarterback in the league. So
Yeah.
they're contenders in my book.
Just so you know, contenders means playoff team.
Yeah, or
Um,
legit Super Bowl contenders.
yeah. So like 14 teams make the playoffs. They can all be contenders. Um, all right, two more teams. Eagles.
I really don't. I kind of think they're cooked. I think they're gonna win their division, which is crazy, but I just don't see them going far in the playoffs. Their defense is pretty bad, and they've dealt with some injuries. But I'll say they're a playoff team, but they're not Super Bowl contenders. So
Mhm.
take with
That
that.
division is a little harder than it looked a few years ago with the Commanders getting better. Cowboys are always in, and the Giants.
Commanders.
Um, and the last team we got is the Baltimore Ravens. Cooked or contenders?
Give me a contender. I mean, they started out 1-2. They play the Bills, but I just believe this team is legit. Lamar's top five quarterback. They got Derrick Henry. Their defense is always solid. Started out pretty bad, but they'll get rolling. When them later on them cold games in Baltimore. I
Mhm.
love I love the Ravens to come in form. So
The run game.
I still believe in them for sure.
Yeah. I mean, their schedule's tough, but they can rely on the run when it is cold, like you said. So I think they're going to turn it up. Just takes a little bit of time getting used to Derrick Henry at the run game. And they do need some more receivers, though, I will say.
Yeah, it's literally
Always.
it's Zay Flowers or nobody. And like I don't know how the hell Zay Flowers gets so many damn catches because he's like 5'8", but he's a
Yeah.
beast. But yeah, their passing game is pretty lackluster. But hey,
Mhm.
if they can run the ball, they can win. So let's roll Ravens. I trust in them for sure. All right, good
Should we
looks.
start on the coaches thing?